Right, I can't do very much in the workshop at the moment because we're in the grip of a very nasty cold spell in the UK. The temperature's about -4 out here in the workshop, so I want to get back in as soon as possible. I bought this SPB326 SP300 part-off blade from Banggood with GTN3 carbide inserts. And I'd just like to show you a quick setup I've used on the Myford ML7 and a bit of a review of the tool to see how it performs. So the tool just slides into its holder like this, and just leave enough length that you need for parting off, not too much, and then just lock the Allen bolts, and that will lock the blade in position. Do those up nice and tight. Right, so this is the setup on the Myford ML7, the 26mm part-off blade in its holder. I've milled off the back of the shank of the holder so it goes fully into the rear tool post, preventing any unnecessary overhang. And you can see the tool is set upside down, the spindle is rotating normally in forward, and this is one of the best ways to actually part off on the Myford ML7. And I'm not using the Myford ML7's back gear, I'm using the lowest pulley drive, which is about 300 RPM. And mild steel isn't the best material to part off, so that was a good test. There's the piece I cut off, very small pip, and now I'll try a bit of stainless steel. So now I have a bit of 316 stainless steel, and I'm going to be using the same revs. and it handled that perfectly. And now I have a piece of aircraft aluminium. I normally use paraffin for lubrication and coolant on the aluminium, but in this test I'll just be using the ordinary cutting oil and the same revs again. And lastly, I have a piece of hexagon mild steel to show a bit of intermittent cutting. So this is an excellent setup. It's extremely rigid on the Myford ML7, and this 26mm blade set is brilliant. I'm very pleased with it. The GTN3 inserts are very good and last a long time and cut all these different types of materials perfectly. The tool holder I didn't actually get from Banggood. I had this one already, and like I say, if you mill off the back of these and get it as close to this front face of this tool post as possible, that'll make it absolutely solid. And when I bought the blade, I couldn't find any of these 26mm holders on Banggood. I've since sent them an email, and hopefully they may list these at some point. And I say that because many sellers in the UK particularly buying these up obviously from China, same blades, everything, and they're putting a very high price on them. And buying from Banggood, you can actually save yourself a lot of money. And you can get the blade and holder in 32mm as well, and I hope to show that one soon because I've got one coming. And show it actually being used on this Myford ML7. And just before I go, I'd just like to say how to get this insert out. When I bought this blade, it came with a tool which you just stick in that slot there and turn. It's a bit like an Allen key, and that will eject the insert. I've misplaced mine at the moment, but don't worry if you do that, because you can use an ordinary flat bladed screwdriver, stick it in the slot, twist it, and it will eject the insert. And to put an insert in, you just slide it in the slot as far as it goes, and then just give it a few taps with a plastic mallet to seat it in its slot. And that's what I really like about insert tooling like this. If you have a edge wear out, you can actually just quickly change that insert. You don't have to remove the actual tool from the holder. There's no regrinding, no resetting of center height, everything remains the same. So they're quick and easy to use, and you have more time machining.